Hello everybody, Shrouded Hand here. This is going to be a slightly different video to usual. It's going to be a bit less scripted. I'm just going to talk about a disturbing case that happened back in 2019 here in the UK. I've had a bit of a bad virus recently and it's left me very fatigued. I thought, well, I'll just turn on OBS, record myself talking about something, and I hope you find this disturbing and tragic case interesting to listen to. So this cheerful looking fellow is named Jonty Bravery. At the time of the attack, August the 4th, 2019, Jonty Bravery was in care. He had autism and some sort of violent personality disorder that needed round-the-clock care. He was living in accommodation provided to him by Hammersmith and Fulham Borough Council. He was known for his violent outbursts, which meant that for a number of years he'd been allowed out of his flat, but only with other carers with him. He'd had a number of violent outbursts against staff members, and his troubling behaviours included putting feces in his mother's makeup brushes and threatening to kill members of the public. He repeatedly told his carers that he planned to kill someone, and at one point one of his workers recorded this. This is Jonty Bravery talking to one of his carers in 2018.
So in the next few months, it has to be, the latest has to be by February in my head, yeah, but ideally I want to do it before. If I could do it right now, I would. I've got it in my head, a way to kill somebody, and then I know for a fact I'm going to go to prison if I do that. So I want to one day meet up with my dad, and it could just be a friend. It could be anyone, but I'm just saying specifically who I've got in my head, and then go out for the day casually, and just go out to central London just for the day out, yeah, just as if we're having a normal day, and then go and visit some of the landmarks. It could be the Shrouded, it could be anything. It could be, as long as it's a high thing, and we could go up and visit it, and then push somebody off it, and I know for a fact they'll die from falling from 100 feet.
Apparently the worker who'd recorded this said that he reported this to senior members of staff and nothing was done about it. The institution that was looking after Mr. Bravery said that there was absolutely no evidence that these plans had been disclosed to senior members of staff, and there was no records of disclosure in any care plan, care report or review from managers or his care workers, psychologists or health workers. So we don't know exactly what happened here. Was this recording reported to higher members of staff, or was it just swept under the rug by them? But anyway, Jonty Bravery was still known for being violent, and he was considered a risk to the public, so much so that he was only allowed out on trips if he was supervised by 2 care workers at all times. But then sometime in 2019, I suppose he'd been behaving well, the regime changed and he was then allowed to go out on his own for a few hours at a time. On the morning of Saturday, August 4th, 2019, Bravery set off alone from his flat in Northolt, northwest London, and brought an Oyster travel card at 12:15 p.m. to take the train to London Bridge, arriving at 1:15 p.m. He strolled to the Shard and asked the ticket seller of the price going up. He balked at the £34 cost and walked off. Prosecutor Diana here said he asked a member of the public where the next highest building was. At the Tate Modern's 10-storey viewing platform, which is free, CCTV images show Bravery mingling with sightseers at 2:15 p.m. Some noticed him because he was behaving in an unusual way, walking close to the railings around the balcony, looking over the railings. Bravery remarked to a visitor called Carol Hunter that it was a long way down and he had vertigo and he wouldn't want to fall off. He then turns his attention to 2 women, Rose Harwood and Nancy Barnesfield, and their sons aged 11 and 8. Bravery leant on the balcony and leered at them as they took photos of the views. According to them, he looked relaxed. He smiled at them, but they soon noticed that he was following them and staring at their children. They felt uneasy until he moved away. By now it was 2:32 p.m. and the 6-year-old French boy and his family had just arrived on the viewing deck, having enjoyed a picnic lunch by the river on the south bank. They were on a week-long holiday and had planned a full day enjoying London's sights. Bravery switched his attention away from Mrs. Barnfield's group. As they turned away from the railings and walked along the balcony, the boy wearing a blue t-shirt and shorts skipped a little way ahead. Ahead of him and facing him was the defendant, who scooped him up and without any hesitation carried him straight to the railings and threw him over, the child plunging headfirst down the tower's sloping slide, which slightly slowed his fall and landed in a crumpled heap at the 5th floor roof of the main part of the gallery. The court heard that he had smashed his head, was bleeding heavily and had broken arms, legs and hips, and his right ankle was almost detached. When the French boy was hurled off the Tate Modern, his shell-shocked father confronted Jonty Bravery and stuttered, "Are you mad?" "Yes, I am mad," the teenager calmly replied. As the little boy lay twisted and broken after his 100-foot fall, his mother became hysterical with the stocky teenager, who just looked at her with a big smile on his face. He told onlookers, "It's a long story. It's not my fault. It's social services' fault." The CCTV footage not shown in court captured the incident, then showed Bravery backing away from the railings. The prosecutor said, "He can be seen to be smiling with his arms raised. At one point he appears to shrug and laugh." During a police interview the next day, Bravery claimed he'd heard voices telling him to kill, but he later admitted to making this up. When he was shown CCTV video of the atrocity, Bravery laughed as it was played. Just hours before the attack, Bravery had used his iPad to conduct Google searches including, "If I have autism, can I still go to prison for attempted murder?" and "Which is most likely to cause death, pushing a girl into River Thames or shooting a girl in the stomach?" He also Googled how to get to the Shard. I've been to the Tate Modern quite a few times, and let me tell you, this building here is absolutely massive. It's just a great big exhibition hall. The photo doesn't really do it justice. And then on the side of the building they've got this extra bit which goes up to this viewing platform here. Yeah, there's a video from the time when the rescue helicopter turned up. You might get a better sense of the scale of the building if you look how here, the people, how small they look compared to the building. Yeah. After the attack, Bravery approached a member of the Tate Modern staff saying, "I think I've murdered someone. I've just thrown someone off the balcony." He later told police that he planned in advance to hurt someone at the South Bank Gallery to highlight his autism treatment on TV. In his police interview, Bravery said that he had to prove a point to every idiot who said he had no mental health problems, asking police if he was going to be on the news. The child was airlifted to hospital. His parents say he is constantly awoken by pain and he can't communicate that pain or call out to hospital staff. Life stopped for us 4 months ago. We don't know when or even if we will be able to return to work or return to our home, which is not adapted for a wheelchair. Bravery was convicted of attempted murder in 2020 and jailed for 15 years. The latest article I can find on the boy's condition says that he is improving and he's practicing a gentle form of judo and adapted archery. Last July, the boy's family said they took him to an adapted holiday home to train him to walk with a cane. Explaining that the boy was also improving with his breathing, they wrote, "We have also found a new speech therapist, and thanks to her, our little knight has made considerable progress in swallowing and breathing." So the fact that he was left unable to even swallow or breathe on his own shows how extensive his injuries were. He's able to blow out his candles again. He hardly makes any more wrong turns when he drinks liquids, and he's starting to keep the rhythm of the songs better. Absolutely horrific. As for Jonty Bravery, let's see, I can find some. The last article I could find on Jonty Bravery was from 2021, and he was arrested on suspicion of raping a fellow prisoner in the showers of HMP Belmarsh. So maybe he'll be in there for a lot longer than those 15 years. So there we go, that's the tale of Jonty Bravery. Terrible failure by the social services in keeping a dangerous man off the streets, and a tragic outcome for the child. Thank God he didn't die, but a lifetime of disability and pain for that kid. And yeah, this is the attractive man who did it. So apologies for the slightly different video. This is as good as I can manage. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you found this video interesting. I'm not sure if this story made it out. It was quite big news in the UK, but I don't know if it sort of reached other places. So I don't know, maybe this is one that people haven't heard about, and I thought I would cover it just because it's pretty disturbing and interesting. So okay, thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who is supporting the channel. Thank you to everyone on Patreon. I'll see you next time, everyone. Goodbye.